Alright, so before we begin this episode, I need to explain what ended up happening. I ended up, during the backtracking episode, going back and getting every single gem from every single stage that was possible. However, some of my footage got corrupted. What's worse is, it's the footage I really wish was not corrupted. More importantly, it was the footage that showed me getting the gem for Cortex power, and for another stage known as Fumbling in the Dark, which I haven't shown in this project yet. Those two stages are two of the hardest stages in the game to get the gems. Fumbling in the Dark being the hardest. So, as a result, I'm going to show off Fumbling in the Dark, but I can't show off me getting Cortex Powers gem, unfortunately. So, let's start this episode with how many times I died. That's a lot of deaths. Yeah. So, first off, what we're going to start with is getting that Cortex key to unlock Fumbling in the Dark from inside the Jaws of Darkness. So much darkness, it's like Xehanort's here. So, pretty much, I am back inside of the Jaws of Darkness. And on this one, I didn't get the gem right away. You'll be seeing me finishing the level, and then I got the gem off screen later on because I already showed it off. So pretty much here's how you end up doing the stage. Instead of waiting, just jump on everything, and there you go. That gets you the key. So now I think we should get ourselves some colored gems, shall we? So many colored gems. So beautiful. And boom. That's all the colored gems. So first, we use the purple gem and go back to Boulder Dash. You get the purple gem from Lights Out, which I actually did on my first try. I was actually rather surprised about that. I'd put that in the episode, but that would make this episode way too long. And you come down here after Boulder Dash is done. This is where the remaining 18 crates are for the game, and you need to watch out for those killer plants, because those killer plants are very, well, hard to judge for their distance. So, I'm just making sure I got all the boxes right here and break these last 4. You notice that there's embryo on the side along with cortex for these, temple buildings. And you go through, and now we end up going into here, which is heavy machinery. I'm not going to show off me getting the gems because pretty much the animation tells that I did not die during the stage. At the same time, I've not died during the stage beforehand, and yeah, so I've done pretty much all this before. But grab all the boxes, finally did that correctly. And you might notice that my life count is pretty high. My life count is going to be fluctuating a lot, and that's because when I was doing this backtracking, I didn't really have any set order for the footage. So you're going to be noticing percentages fluctuate a lot, and I apologize for that if I end up showing off the gems. Because at this point, when I went back to the heavy machinery, I had already gotten Cortex Power's gem. So I was excited, and I decided, you know what, I could do Cortex Power. Why don't I end up doing heavy machinery, which I do end up doing on this run. It took me a little while. This was also before I got Fumbling in the Dark's gem. Oh boy. Fumbling in the Dark was actually the last gem I got in the game, because it is by far the hardest gem to get. But that takes care of that, so let us now see the gem for this one. As you can see, I have 95% with this gem, that's why. And if you're wondering what do you get for Cortex Power, you get a clear gem. The last of the colored gems were what I showed earlier on. And to get the purple gem, you're going to need to get the yellow gem from inside of the lab. Go from there to Lights Out, and then after that, you can go and get the gem for purple from Lights Out. So pretty much we have all the colored gems, which is perfect for me. So now let's get the gem from the Jaws of Darkness. I don't think I show off this gem because I don't want things to get too boring, but I at least show off I've shown off the paths beforehand in order to get it inside the last episode. So, takes care of that. And now we're meeting inside of Native Wall. We haven't been to this stage since well in the beginning of the game. If you don't remember, Native Wall is the 3rd stage in the game, and what you needed was the yellow gem, which you get from the last regular stage of the game. And as a result, they decided to use that as an excuse to make this section a little bit challenging, to say the least. And they're pretty dickish with one box. What you're seeing is one of my successful attempts because, you know, I had to actually run through the stage twice. Why is that? I missed a box. And I got to the end of the stage and it said, great, but you missed one box. To which I ended up nearly throwing my controller because I was getting frustrated. Just like I'm getting frustrated right here because for some odd reason I can't seem to jump. You can tell I'm pretty much just done with Crash 1. I don't want to deal with this anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I questioned how I did it in the past, and I just barely managed to 100% it again. And because of the corrupted footage, a lot of people are probably gonna doubt that I truly 100% it, or did I hit a code? Well, the thing is, none of the passwords applied to the gems. Pretty much if I were to type them in, I would have to recollect certain gems because the passwords are only set for certain areas, and when it comes to the percentages, it's only based on certain gems and certain areas. And none of the passwords in the game actually work for that, because if they did, I would have gone back to do Cortex Powers. Now you might be questioning, why don't I just go back and do Cortex Powers again? It's Cortex Power. Do you want me to do that again? I hope not. Anyway, there is a box that is hidden behind here, and it is right here, which is why I ended up jumping over it. Do not jump over that box. Just don't, all right? But pretty much go across again. I ended up not hitting it. The next one, I ended up coming back to grab the gem. Again, if you want to question whether I got 100% or not, that's your prerogative. I don't blame you. But I know for a fact I got 100% because this game, you never forget. You never forget. And I know I'm being just really negative about it, but let me just say, Crash Bandicoot 1 is not a bad game. It's just horrendous if you're going for 100%. It's like Sonic Lost World. It's an okay game that's fun to play until you go for 100%. Then it becomes a nightmare. It becomes a nightmare that you never want to touch again. And since I don't have to touch Crash 1 after this again, I'm gonna be happy. Very, very, very happy. But let's jump on the native right now. It feels weird doing post-commentary for Crash Bandicoot as well, because normally I did post-commentary for, you know, Sunset Vista, but either way, that was still a pain to do. It feels awkward to do post-commentary for Crash Bandicoot since I normally do these live. But with how much this project pretty much irked me near the end, I felt justified in actually doing post-commentary for it. But yet again, I can't jump, and we are approaching the end of the native wall. Or actually, I think this is native gate. I always get native wall and native gate confused, because that's where we're going to be going to next. So, go up, and there you go. That completes that. So I got the gem off screen for that one, but here is either native gate or native wall. I want to say this is native wall. You need the red gem for this one that you get from Slippery Climb, and we're going to platform up over this way. This one's a lot easier than the other one, but then again, you know, the last stage required the yellow gem, which you get after you've beaten the last regular stage of the game. So pretty much not at all expected unless you glitched your way across. You know how to platform, unfortunately. And you can notice that my life count is a little bit off. Again, I'm doing these clips really out of order because of how long it did. So how long was this session in general? Well, this was split up into 2 sessions, actually, with 3 to actually technically 5 separate recordings. The 5th one was the one that got corrupted, and that's the one where I got the Cortex Power Gem along with Fumbling in the Darks Gem. I was pissed off about that. But there we go. That gets rid of all the boxes there. These are pretty much all the boxes that are available for this area, and it looks like I accidentally left in the, I might have left in the footage of me getting the gem. So, let us go down. Gotta be careful, you don't want to fall, because there is a tiny gap between the red gem and actual pit that you can fall through. So, that kind of sucked. You're at the end of the stage, and then you end up dying. Huh, that sounds like me this entire project, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, just climb on up. Surprisingly, I'm able to platform a lot better inside of this stage than any other stage. I have no idea why. So, jump up. And it was around this time that I was deciding I need to do Fumbling in the dark. Because, I mean, it's getting to be to that point, but I need to. I will tell you right now, because I actually had to redo Fumbling in the dark just to show it off. And I just redid it instead just to show it off since I hadn't shown it. Pretty much, I went in there with 85 lives. What you're gonna see is, when I go back in, is how many lives I had left. Which I believe I have 33. But right now we're inside Road to Nowhere, and this is where you use the red gem you get from Slippery Climb as well. Now you need to be careful with this one because there's actually 2 sections for the red gem inside of Road to Nowhere, which is rather annoying, especially at the end when you have to go there. But for right now, let's do this path. That. Bounce up. And hit that. That gets you boxes. Those would normally be life boxes, but I, of course, ended up dying. Hit that TNT crate. Make sure they explode because of a glitch that's in this game, where if you don't see them explode, they won't always explode. That's a very stupid glitch in the game. And it's made me more paranoid the more I've played this game. In fact, it's actually resulted in my death a number of times because of that. So, now we're going to head to the end of the stage, which we're almost there, because pretty much the red gem is the halfway point for the stage. Grab that. Keep going. I believe there's going to be a pig that's coming up soon. We're going to be seeing. It's been a while since we've been inside Road to Nowhere, which, if you don't have the green gem for Castle Machinery, you can, or is it Heavy Machinery? I believe it's Heavy Machinery. I'm already forgetting stage names. Wow, I just really want to put Crash out of my mind, it seems. That's rather sad. But we're pretty much at the end right now for the stage. So, let's bounce across. Bounce again. And you can hear the warp gate, but there is a red gem right in front of it. This will take you there to where there is one plank that is invisible. Only one. Jump, and there will be a set of 2 for each one. After the second one, you need to jump. And then there will be 1 near the end. I have no idea why there's only 1, but there is only 1. Do not try to think that there are 2 because you will fall to your death. Take this from experience. That's why those 3 crates were no longer life crates. Oh, looks like I did keep in this gem one for it. I guess I felt too... I didn't want to show off everything, but as you can notice, this is when I was getting to 94%, and earlier we saw when I was at 95%. And Cortex Power would have shown 96 through 98, and I believe 99 and 100 with Fumbling in the Dark. So close. But now into Fumbling in the Dark. This is right above Lights Out and requires the key you get in Jaws of Darkness. Welcome to the worst stage of Crash Bandicoot 1, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do we have to deal with another one of these darkness levels, we have to deal with it being a lot more difficult than the last one. You thought Lights Out was difficult? You've not played Fumbling in the Dark, and I don't blame you. What makes it difficult to begin with? There are pretty much, I believe, 7 crates back here that you are going to have to maneuver around these areas. These areas and this arch right in the middle will gimp your jumps if you so much as touch it. So already we're off to a bullshit start. Isn't that just lovely? Not only that, it's the same as Lights Out, which means if your Aku Aku mask ends up going dark, then pretty much you better pray to whatever deity you have, because you have to get through this. This is where most of the deaths from my death count have gone into. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be dying inside this one too, so I'm gonna be adding more onto the death count for that. Yes, I'm not joking. I came in here with 85 lives. Right now, I think I have either 32 or 33 lives. This is where they all went, folks. All of them. a good majority of my lives went here. Over 53 of them went to this stage. I'm no Garland the Great, okay? I'm not the best at platforming. And whenever this happens and you end up hitting a box ahead of time, run for it as fast as you can, because pretty much you're gonna need to. This stage ultimately can come down a lot to luck. And this is actually one of the stages that the passwords would have actually helped me. There's my first death of the stage. Okay, so I had 34 lives, so I guess I was off by a bit. But yes, pretty much for this stage, it comes a lot down to luck. And this is one of the stages where the password system actually would help me, because there is a password in the game that will give you 99% in the game. The catch? The only gem you don't have is Fumbling in the Darks. Yeah, this took me about 53 lives to get this gem. I'm not gonna do one to where I have to do it again and spend another 53 lives. Although at the rate I'm dying, you'd think that I'd be trying to do the same thing, huh? Yes, Fumbling in the Dark, I just gets my blood boiling. It's so bad. This is the pinnacle of, I think, the worst in Crash Bandicoot design. More so than Cortex Power's Backtracking, more so than Slippery Climb, more than Sunset Vista. This is the low point in Crash Bandicoot 1 for me. And that is because of how ridiculously challenging this stage is for no reason. It comes down a lot to luck. And it's why I'm ending off the episode with it, because I just want to get my blood boiling even more, huh? Yeah, that's clearly what I want. And there I go again. Pretty much at this point, this was when I had figured out that I had, you know, lost the footage of me getting the gem from Fumbling in the Dark, and I was pissed. I was pissed with a capital P. A capital P. And can you blame me when you spend about 3 hours doing backtracking to find out that a good chunk of the footage that you want to use is corrupted and or gone for some odd reason? And I think I know the reason why, and I think it might be my new HDMI cable. Say it ain't so, but it looks like that is indeed the case, so I'm gonna have to buy even more HDMI cables, it looks like. But once we get through this stage, the next part, we're gonna be ending off the project. And now to pray to my deities. This is why I don't pray to my deities. I have 27 lives left. How many times have I died in the stage? What, 7 times already? This is just, at this point, I don't blame people for, you know, quitting on Crash 1 if they get to this point. And I think I'm gonna die one more time in a rather sad place, like right before the warp room, because, yes, because right before here, these spiders, you saw the warp gate right there. That was the end of the stage, so we're just about done with this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy. We're just about done with Crash Bandicoot 1. Everything you've gone through up to this point is more difficult than the final boss. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. I guess I was wrong. I guess I died 2 more times. I have 25 lives. I have 25 lives because of this. Isn't that just glorious? Isn't that just glorious? So, let's bounce and get to the end, shall we? But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it off right here. This has been Roxas1359. I've done better backtracking episodes, I know, but this game has broken me. See you guys next time.